Gentlemen and ladies of the press, good afternoon. Let me begin by wishing every one of us and all Nigerians compliments of the season, and it's our prayers that we all have a joyful and pleasant holiday season. In the spirit of Christmas and the end of year festivities, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, in another demonstration of his love for Nigerians, has approved that the federal government should intervene to bring down the cost of public transportation to allow our compatriots who want to travel to visit their loved ones and hometowns to do so without stress and the extra burden imposed by the high cost of transport around this period. The president is well aware of the recent increase in cost of interstate transportation and even for air travel. Traditionally, therefore, our people love to travel during Christmas and end of year to be with families and friends, and this has been the practice for ages. We also know that globally, intra-country travels and movement of people, goods, and services always peak around Christmas and end of the year because of social gravitational pull of the period, which transporters always cash on to increase fares astronomically. In recognition of the economic situation of the country, which the president is working hard to turn around, President Tinubu wants Nigerians to be able to travel within Nigeria to wherever they want to go to meet their loved ones without the extra burden of paying exorbitantly for interstate public transportation. It is in this wise that the president is announcing through us that beginning from tomorrow, that's the 21st of December, Nigerians willing to travel can board public transport via minibuses, luxury buses at 50% discount of current costs, and all our train services on the routes the trains currently serve at zero cost to and fro on their travels this holiday season. This special presidential intervention will commence tomorrow, Thursday, December 21, and it will end on January 4, 2024. The federal government, through the Ministry of Transportation, will be working with transporters, road transport unions, the Nigerian Railway Corporation to seamlessly deliver on this special presidential initiative. From tomorrow, therefore, Nigerians wishing to embark on interstate travel to any part of the country from Abuja, Lagos, Kano, Kaduna, Enugu, Port Harcourt, Owerri, all the major centers to their respective states will be able to do so at half the cost. The federal government, under the leadership of President Tinubu, is working very hard to make sure Nigerians have a memorable and happy holiday season. The president has already directed the police department and the Department of State Services, the military, and all other security agencies to work collaboratively to ensure the holiday period is safe without any security breach in any part of the country. While we wish all Nigerians a great holiday season, we implore everyone to be law-abiding, be security conscious, be our brothers' keepers, extend every goodwill to our families, friends, and neighbors. We should continue to work within our spheres of influence to make our country the very best we all desire her to be. While we celebrate and enjoy all the social activities that come with the season, let us also remember to celebrate in moderation. On behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we wish all Nigerians Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year in advance. Thank you very much. The first one is the logistics, asked by half Nigerian, half... Now, actually, that's a very pertinent issue, which engaged the committee, interministerial committee that the president set up, which I chair, and you can see my colleagues here. There's one or two others who are, yet to be here. So that issue really was exhaustively discussed, and the Minister of Transportation is here, who has all the details. But, superficially, I can tell you that all the relevant stakeholders in that industry have been met, have been discussed with, have been engaged, and all the parameters laid out. And the Minister of Transportation has the full details and is on top of the game. In fact, the president of the various transport unions and all of that, he has met with them severally. And they have given us their own side of the case. We have had to haggle and negotiate and all of that. And everything is in top shape in terms of execution. And that was why this idea did not emanate today. It had been in the works. And before we now came to this conclusion of publicizing it, making it public, all the I's have been dotted, all the T's have been crossed, and we have gotten the understanding of the various stakeholders, especially the transport unions. Of course, for that of railway is even more straightforward because it's just one organization, and the Minister of Transport has concluded all the details with that. And for emphasis, for railways, it is 100% rebate. It is absolutely, totally free for this period, 21st December to 4th of January. It is for the land transportation that is 50% because it is more, it is wider and more exhaustive, So, with regards to a corollary issue of this, which was asked by somebody out there, about the transport owners or operators suddenly increasing their fares because of this announcement, that also has been taken care of. In the various engagements that we've had with them, as led by the Minister of Transportation, we had asked them their costs, which after announcement must not increase. And the rebate given to Nigerians, these transport owners will be paid for that rebate because they will not unilaterally reduce. So government will bear the cost of the 50%. And so the figure that government will bear has already been determined across board, across all the transport operators and unions. So there is no issue of somebody just immediately increasing the fares because the government is going to bear 50% of it. No, that has been settled. So we had taken care of all the contentious issues before we decided to now come and publicize. So there is going to be a seamless execution, and the Minister of Transport is on top of it as we speak. In fact, you will notice that he came a little bit late because he was involved in all these the details of execution and of the logistics. So absolutely there is no problem. The other issue is on air travel. Somebody mentioned air travel, I think the Nation. Now, that was also considered, but at the end of the day, the president's initiative is to give succor to the masses. And if we are to be true to ourselves, the masses don't take air travel. They go by land. In fact, this is amongst us. If you had not eaten once or twice, not to talk of thrice a day, you can't think of going to buy air tickets. So it is only the real masses, the poor, that patronize land transportation, especially rail, because it's the cheapest. So this presidential initiative is targeted at the very lower levels, and that is land transportation. That's why air is luxury. The logistics issue we've taken care of. The cost, yes, somebody asked, what is the cost of all of this? Now, the cost is not important when you want to give succor to the masses, especially when it's not an ad infinitum kind of policy. It's for a couple of days. So the cost is not prohibitive beyond the affordability of government. And again, we run a presidential system of government. I always tell people, in a presidential system of government, an executive presidency like we run, when the president has a priority policy to execute, and that policy is to target humanity, cost becomes negligible and infinitesimal. That is the idea. The date, again, that is prescribed, December 21 to January 4. It is assumed and believed that it is within this period that people want to go to their various, states. Then somebody mentioned grassroots intra-state. Now, the cost of intra-state travels is not as exorbitant as the cost interstate. Don't also forget that there are so many forms of communication and transportation, intra. But inter is where the people who go out of their states to work, like in the major centers, in the urban centers. That's where the bulk of the travelers actually are. And that is why the bulk is targeted. So it is interstate. Thank you. Any more? It's a pertinent question, really. It's a pertinent question. It's not unheard of. It is a legitimate question. But I can tell you that you are one of those that will benefit. Yes, because you will travel, right? So you are one of them. The idea is it is open-ended between tomorrow 21st and January 4 with those interstate travels. So we are not going to, if we say only 100,000 people, it means that after the exhaustion of the 100,000, the rest will not be opportune. So we cannot say it is this particular figure right now so as to allow as many Nigerians that are willing and able to do so to enjoy this benefit. That is for them.
Crowd management and loading, because most people now would likely to enjoy this President Tinubu renewed hope to travel benefits. How do you control the crowd that will go out and the load they will carry to the village and when they will carry it?
I did mention it's also pertinent. You see, these bus owners, especially the luxury buses, they have a structured, system. They have a manifest, and they have a capacity. We know the number of seats in each bus. So it's not something that is just amorphous, opaque, or bogus. And there are statistics that they've been working on before now. And we used all of these parameters, the statistics, even for last year and for this year, giving room for the inflation. So we cannot say, for instance, if you enter, there is no bus that does not have a number of seats that everybody can calculate. So even if there is a crowd, the bus has a limited space. Each bus has a limited number of seats. So, and we are saying government is giving 50% rebate. So if a transporter, For instance, I'm a transporter and I bring a bus of 100-seater capacity. Automatically, I know how much I make with full capacity. So definitely, what I will make now, what the public will pay will be 50%. But I'll still make my 100% capacity. That's where government comes in with the rebate. So it's seamless. And don't also forget that we said that the president has directed the police, the DSS, the military, and all security agencies to be on the alert. And in some of these their parks, added security will be there to make sure that there is no breach of peace, for the seamless execution of this project. No. You see, there is, again, I come to the issue of executive presidency. There are so many subheads in the budget for a presidential intervention in any area that is, deemed necessary at any point in time, without any infractions whatsoever to the Constitution, to the appropriation, or to the budgetary processes and all of that. So it is all been taken care of. That's why there was an interministerial committee comprising finance, transportation, especially transportation, information, solid minerals, because we provide the gold. So, so there's no issue at all around that. It's all taken care of, and it's all under wraps. The Minister of Transportation has one or two issues to add.
Thank you very much, my chairman, the distinguished audience. Let me just throw more light very quickly. On the railway, we used to have 2 trips up, 2 trips down Abuja, Kaduna. We are going to maintain that. Lagos, Ibadan is 2 trips daily. We are going to maintain that. Warri, Itape is 1 trip daily. We are going to maintain that. And on the road transport, why we decided to use luxury buses union? Because they are more organized and more structured. So we held a meeting with the president of the union. They gave us an idea of how much fare they used to charge on a normal day. But during festivities, when the buses travel, normally they came back empty. So it is on that account they have to increase the fare during these festivities. That has been taken into account. We held several meetings with the president. And why we decided to have 50% for the land transport, you see, when you are having this type of initiatives and programs to implement, you equally have to be mindful of the security situation. If you say it's for free, even somebody that did not intend to travel will just go to the park and say, I want to travel. But now it is 50%. They already have a manifest. They have a ticketing system. So they know the people who are meant to travel. So for that who has intended to travel, then the federal government will provide 50% for them. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, the CNG buses will be on stream. They will be on the roads very soon. Don't forget that there are some configurations that must be done before they are on the road. The model and style of distribution. Even those who will be operating them, you have to enter into some form of arrangement, a formal arrangement. So the buses couldn't just be procured and then put on the streets without any formal arrangement that will be structured, will be formalized, and then of course, there is also a process of repayment and all of that by operators. All of these details are being worked out. And exactly, the gas centers too, the outlets where they will be fed with gas. All of these things have to be properly and efficiently organized before you see them. But they are being done, and in a short while, you see those buses on the road. And mind you, that was just the first phase. More and more will keep coming. More and more will keep coming to fulfill the promise of Mr. President. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Just a few minutes before we leave. And we are going to avail the number of routes that we are going to do this operation. The intendment of this program is to bring succor to the passengers traveling on the major route. So we are going to run 22 routes on the luxurious buses. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Well, I wish every one of you, my colleagues, I wish every one of you happy Christmas and prosperous New Year in advance. This, I just want to add, like my colleague here has said, that this is part of the measures that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu intends to be doing. It's not a one-off thing. And even though it is targeted at Christmas, the president will continue to review situations, especially national holidays like this, and see what kind of interventions can come going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You say? It what?
And no supplementary.
This is a big news for Nigerians. This one is big news.